I always forget that this season of My Hero Academia is 25 episodes. I walked into this episode, and as I was watching it, I was like, man, this would be a great season finale, but we have one more episode left, and then I remembered, no, we have two. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with the final, either setting up for the next arc, if we're going to get a mini arc, or whatever they're going to do next. But I have to say, honestly, episode 23 of season 4, I think it would have made a great season finale. Not only does it follow the basic anime template of high school settings, where you have some form of school festival, a band activity, a play, just anything like that. That's pretty much the template you see in most high school stories, where people are kind of united and they're having fun, they're partying, and it just kind of feels like a nice, satisfying, and simple way to wrap up whatever drama or whatever they dealt with over that school year, something like that. It's always seen in, or at least it used to be seen quite a bit in school anime, not so much anymore, but it still is something that is a template that a lot of studios will follow. It'd be very easy to just say it felt boring, very easy to say it just felt like nothing happened, but honestly, it was surprisingly fun. It really, really was. And I mean, this entire goal for pretty much most viewers watching was we wanted to see Eri smile. We wanted to see her feel like her age again, not someone who was a lab rat, a test subject, a tortured soul, but a little girl having fun at basically a party, a day of fun and activities, and she got to have that. So it felt like an immediate success as soon as we saw her eyes light up. To me, just watching so many things happen. We get the conclusion with Gentle Criminal, which was about 5 minutes of the episode, and there's a little bit after the credits, which was nice. Of course, we had the preparation, the final little moments, and just the idea of the band, which was very well done. I love the song, I love the dance, and it was magical. It was fun to see that. We even get a taste of the play, which I thought was such a ripoff of so many different ideas that you can't help but just love it. What better way than to just kind of conclude everything than just to have all those little sides come together in harmony? And it was great. I mean, you even get the beauty pageant, right? Like, there was just so many little things happening, but because it literally was a school festival, it didn't feel like anything was really cluttered, because that's how a festival should work. There should be a lot of things happening, and all the moments we got, they definitely stuck out, and I really enjoyed them. Gentle Criminals content was, I mean, I was satisfied last week. I was good. You didn't have to show me any more. We got 5 minutes more, and it was great to see just how the school isn't stupid. There's people who can sniff and say, oh, I have a heightened sense of smell. There was a student here. What happened to the student? Really, do you expect me to believe that you didn't do anything wrong, that we're not going to have to cancel the festival? But it was nice how Gentle owned up to it, and he was really sticking by his story of, I brainwashed La Brava, she's completely innocent, and how he was trying to shoulder everything, but it was never going to work exactly as he probably hoped it would. But it was nice to see how there was like this kind of final bonding moment between the two, because Gentle basically took a separate path than Deku took. Deku, he got rewarded with a hero. Gentle, he kind of failed and became what he was basically always wanting to fight against. It would have been very easy for Deku to become what Gentle did, had a few different things happen and he not have met All Might or something like that, but it's nice to see how there wasn't really hostility between them when they parted ways. If anything, there was a sense of grief, as if you felt bad for him, and there was a sense of like, I'm glad you succeeded where I never did. But if you watch after the credits, it definitely feels like what I was hoping was going to happen definitely seems like it could. I mean, the man is incredibly ashamed of himself. He's crying. He definitely feels bad. He still is talking about his tea, so he hasn't completely lost his mind. So there definitely is a hope that he could become someone that he always wanted to be, and in doing so would probably be able to help La Brava in the process. But I mean, talking to either one of them, clear as day, they both love each other, so it was never gonna work as well as I was kind of hoping it would, where he could just take the fall, maybe recover after some time. But it'll be interesting if he has to do like community service or something like that, because he hasn't done anything to the same degree as any of the main villains, just he was a villain. He definitely did commit crimes, but he still can be repaired. So it's going to be interesting to see if they ever reintroduce him in future seasons and things like that, but it is good to go out with Gentle Criminals, one of the more memorable villain and character arcs that we had in this season, and say, you know what, that's satisfying. We didn't have to destroy the town to get to this point, but honestly, just a couple of characters butting heads that have a lot in common, just one succeeded where the other didn't. So it was really great to see what they did with that content in itself, which was really rewarding. Hell, you probably could have just given me those 5 minutes and I'd be like, all right, My Hero Academia, let's move on and we'll see you next week. That's good enough for me. But then they give us so much fun and just excitement. It was great to see the band play. The band playing is something that usually I'm kind of indifferent to. I've never really hated an anime where they've had like characters singing in a band or they're doing something exciting on stage to light up the crowd. But I feel like a lot of times either the song they choose or the way they direct it, it doesn't capture, I feel like, the same wonder that the students are feeling, as if you feel as inspired, as if your life is lighting up, as if you've never heard music before. But honestly, the song they picked, it was great. The directing and just the way they were kind of zooming in on certain things was really well done, where you got a close-up on pretty much everyone. You got to see so many little things connect, and it pretty much exactly functioned as they were planning it all along. They're going to have this like explosion of laser lights, they're going to have this mist fly in the crowd, there'll be this like streamers kind of in the air. Everything pretty much happened exactly as they were planning, but it was so much better than it was in my head. Like, I thought it was going to be okay, but honestly, despite it being drawings, I felt as inspired as most of the audience. And it was great seeing the audience where, instead of it just doing what they typically do with anime production, where you got a couple of happy faces, a couple of people dancing, you really had the entire crowd just completely go wild. It was nice to see those characters who came in just to criticize literally get blown away and start just having the time of their life. Because of that, it was very easy for me to just feel as happy as they were, as if it wasn't feeling forced, it wasn't feeling just like an anime scene, but rather, no matter where you looked on screen, it felt like the characters were having fun. And as you saw Eri get progressively more and more excited, you just felt like everything that happened with Overhaul no longer mattered in her eyes because she was a kid having fun. And that took a while to get there. They didn't abandon Eri, they didn't just say she was going to flip a switch and become a kid. She was a tortured soul, and it actually took time to get to this point, and she's still going to have trouble. She's still going to have nightmares. She's still going to have hardships. But the fact that you can get her to still smile even after the day's all said and done, she's sad about going home, you can give her a candy apple and she's going to light right back up because you remember that promise that she would also get that when she came. It's great to see that Eri is finally getting a group of friends and family that she can actually love and cherish. And in doing so is being able to just soak in and absorb the simple things in life. That for many of these characters, yeah, they've went through a lot. They've had their school broken into how many times now? They've had their way of life shattered and twisted so many times, but in comparison to someone like Eri, they've had literally a luxury lifestyle. But for this moment, everyone just came together, differences were cast aside, and they really got you to feel inspired. And that's why I really think it would have been a great season finale. Like, honestly, give me 2 more episodes, I'm fine. Like, I'll watch as much My Hero Academia anime as they give me. But it does feel like this would have been the perfect season finale. It really does, because you basically overcome most demons that were kind of haunting this anime, which was the Overhaul lingering in the background. And everyone, especially Eri, was able to smile at the end of it. It would have been a great season finale, so it'll be interesting to see, will episodes 24 and 25 be able to leave off on such a way that it's going to not only feel like a satisfying conclusion, or is it going to feel like a start of an arc? Either way, we know the anime's not just going to end here. It's not going to be like a lot of projects where it leaves off on a cliffhanger and you're like, oh, I wonder if we're getting more. You know you're getting more, but still, it definitely feels like this episode would have been the perfect season finale for me. But as I said, I'll keep watching as long as they make it. So if they want to give me 25 episodes and 2 episodes are the start of an arc, I'm not going to be complaining there. But it was nice to see some of the smaller stuff too. Like, it's great that it wasn't just simply the band dominating the episode, but you have the play, which was, holy shit, the amount of references and how Gandalf and who's the father. I was like, this is so wild. I could have had like 5 minutes of this, but the fact that you at the very least showed me it, I'm really glad for that. And the beauty pageant, of course, I mean, you're going to have characters like Manta just go completely wild. Also got his harem in the dance, which I was kind of laughing at as well. It was just nice to see all the simple things and how it kind of felt like this was a reward for them. It's a very simple reward, especially when you consider the amount of times many of these characters risk their lives. They put basically everything on the line. And for them, the happiest moment in so long is them just playing in a band or listening to music or watching a play, watching a beauty pageant. Literally the simple things, but honestly, that's what's supposed to make them happy. It's very easy to forget that these still are students. They are not professional heroes. They aren't supposed to be in life or death situations. So when you transition back to a school festival where they are looking like kids, they're having fun, they're enjoying the most simplistic things in life, it's very easy to forget why that should be rewarded and why you should feel inspired and having fun alongside them. And honestly, those simple moments can definitely be some of the highlights of a My Hero Academia season, where you don't see them that often. And I'm glad we don't see them every season, or we don't see them every arc. I'm glad it does get spread out and it is someone who has to deal with a lot of hardships. Deku is not a character who gets by without struggle. Look at the kid and how often he's almost broke his body down to the point of no return. But to just see him in a more Season 1 state, to see the characters as a whole in a more Season 1 state, it definitely just brings a grin to your face. It just felt like one of those episodes where you sat back, you didn't have to overly think about anything because it just explained it by itself. We knew we wanted to see Eri smile, and we got to see her smile. We got to see her smile way more than I ever thought possible. We got to see the characters across the board just feel like their age, having fun, and just making the viewer let out a sigh of relief that nothing bad happened. Overhaul didn't return, he didn't crash the party. Dental Criminal didn't crash the party. In fact, it seems like he might actually be able to progress back to a hero path should he pursue it. Things were okay. And it's okay to have things happen. It's very easy for authors to get into the habit of just escalating and never giving breathing room, where just bad things happen after more bad things, and the viewer grows numb to it. Why should you care that the characters are suffering when for 15 episodes that's all they've had? But the fact that we can come off of arguably the most intense villain arc to then having a school festival that actually concluded in a positive note, that's how you get the viewers to feel safe. That's how you get the viewers to feel like not only do I connect with them on their simple personal level, when bad things start happening again, when they start getting into those fights, when they start getting into serious things, we've had the time to decompress. Now granted, it's a little easier because we have breaks between seasons, so it's easier to decompress, but if you were to rewatch this in a binge, it's nice how it escalates but then brings down, escalates then brings down, or just escalates for a long time and then brings down. It's a really good flow that honestly a lot of battle shonens they don't get right, where they do just keep upping and upping and upping. But My Hero Academia, the fact that they went down for a simple festival school arc is why this season is so memorable. But as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this episode of My Hero Academia down in the comment section below. Did you love it? Did you hate? Your favorite moment? Whatever you're feeling, let me know. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy, and remember to hit that subscribe button if you're happy new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.